Hello, and if you've watched my other YouTube videos, welcome back. If you haven't and this is your first, hello, I guess. So this picture is from a photograph of my friend Rebecca. I knew Rebecca in college. We were in, I think, English and philosophy together. Yeah, we were part of this like cool English crew, so that was cool. Now she is a very talented makeup artist and does sort of some modelling, obviously does makeup on herself, and she has some really, really awesome pictures. You should definitely check them out if you're kind of into makeup. Now this one I'm doing is her sort of rainbow deer, so I can take no credit for the idea. It's entirely hers. I'm just recreating it through a drawing. I have linked her Instagram and the YouTube video she actually did of this rainbow deer look. I've linked that below, so definitely check it out because they're just really very awesome. Now this, I was really kind of struggling with this, and I didn't like it to start with. I didn't like it at all. I used satin because I wanted it to have a sort of darker than I usually do. I normally use sort of ivory or almond, but I wanted it to blend more seamlessly with sort of the eyeshadow, just to make it look more like a doe's colouring. But I don't know how well that really went to start with. I do end up liking it when it's all together and it's all kind of dried, and it's dried a little bit lighter and it blends in more. And I kind of really struggled. I didn't know the best way of doing the eyeshadow, so I kind of just keep going in with, I think, the burnt umber and blush, and just keep kind of adding to it and trying to make it work. And I definitely think it does in the end, but there were some stumbling blocks. Now, I think this is actually the second picture of her I've drawn. Because her pictures do tend to inspire me, because she generally has very good lighting, very good makeup, and very good poses, very kind of easy to draw. And I sort of had the idea of doing this picture on YouTube, and of course I asked her first, made sure it was okay with her, and she's very, she was definitely okay with me doing it. And she actually pointed me towards her Instagram because there were more pictures than what was on her YouTube videos. That was awesome because it meant I got this kind of pose, and it's really fantastic. And this is also one of the reasons I love drawing sort of her pictures, is because it's all there for you. There's kind of framing, lighting, good colouring. Like, there is actually very little you need to do apart from really copy it down. Now I did change some things, minor things really, just kind of the headdress. Which you'll see if you look at the difference. Well, at the end, I've put some pictures in of her, and obviously the drawing I've done. So I mean, it is kind of minor changes, and it's more just so that the main focus is on sort of her face and the rainbow. As you can see, you're probably thinking, what rainbow? There is no rainbow. These are all like peachy colours and pinks, and it's like, yes, just be patient with me, please. Literally, the rainbow part of it was the part I was looking forward to. I spent ages figuring out the best way of doing it, and then when it came to it, it's right at the very end. It took me about 5 minutes of the whole drawing to do, but I do like it. I did really struggle with her hair because I don't really have any colours that are kind of like a blonde. Now, in the Instagram picture, she does have this more sort of peachy pink hair, whereas in the YouTube video, I think it is very much blonder. So I'm kind of more going off the Instagram pictures. And so I kind of, again, took an artistic liberty with that and kind of just did it how I saw it in my mind rather than how it actually really is. But I think it works. I think it looks all right. Kind of looks a bit ethereal, which is sort of what I was going for. And I was going for more a cartoony vibe with this, sort of less detailed, more suggestions. I think it did work. Like, you get kind of the general idea. And I think because there is a photograph. I mean, this is just modelled off a photograph. So what would be the point in just recreating, the photograph? It wouldn't be anything new. Just think why I kind of felt okay with adding small bits of changes and sort of taking some liberties, but mostly I did want to keep it true to how it was and try and keep kind of the makeup intact. Now I've never actually done makeup on a person, like on a drawing before. I generally try and keep it sort of more natural looking, so that was sort of a new thing, and I don't know how well it went. I guess this was kind of a much easier one to do because it is so dramatic, and it's I mean, it's not, you know, it's not how she would go out wearing her makeup. Well, but you know what, maybe she would to fancy dress party or something, but it's, you know, so I don't have to have that realism into it. And oh my god, her eyelashes were so hard to do. She's got such thick black eyelashes, and then when I tried to recreate how they actually look, it looked fake. It looked like I was over exaggerating them, but I really wasn't. They're really how they are, unless she's wearing some really good fake eyelashes. But I think they are real. I remember back in school she had these amazing eyes, and now I just sound like a creep, like I was staring at her all the time, which I wasn't. But she did always have amazing, flawless makeup. Definitely eye makeup as well. It's fantastic. Now with the picture, I kind of, you may have noticed sort of with the burnt umber back to the eyes, which I'll talk about because everything else I'm doing is off frame. The eyes, I kind of tried to feather it a little bit to kind of make it look like it was a bit furry. I don't really know if that did work, but I like the effect it's given off. Like, it's not just a harsh line, it does have a bit of blending and a bit of texture, I guess. Now here with the flowers on the crown, this is kind of the part where I took a liberty. Now the actual, I mean, it's a really nice sort of headdress that she has with these very bright roses, but because they are kind of so bright, it's really hard to actually see the form of them. You just kind of see the colour, and I didn't want to distract, as I said, from the makeup, so I kind of kept them neutral and kind of kept it, you know, skin, hair and the flowers as kind of being one whole thing, so that the flowers from sort of her shoulder piece, I think that's a thingy-mabobby, that's a technical term, a strap, that's it. I did the same flowers across and kind of wanted to keep them quite simple, really. I wanted to keep them simple. That's all really there is to say about that. Now this picture was really good. It didn't take me as long as I thought it would, actually colouring it in, but within drawing it, I tried to draw like a good 3 or 4 pictures last night. And then we had a blackout, so I had to kind of put it down and stop drawing. And then when I came back to them all this morning, I was like, oh, none of these quite capture her. So I went back to Instagram and I pretty much just copied, as I said, I copied this photograph rather than trying to recreate something. Now, I'm really sorry about this. I need to put some tape down so I know where the measures are, because, you know, the lines are for the camera, because you cannot see what I'm doing at all. Basically, I'm just taking lime green, bright green and pear green and kind of just overlaying them, pretty much. Sorry, there's not much to tell. As you can see, sort of in the face, I did keep it quite, there's not many shadows, and that comes into play with when I actually do the rainbow sort of blush cheek area, then it comes through. And I did really struggle to figure out how I wanted to do that, because if I'd have used a pro marker, it would have just been too much, been too bright, and I kind of wanted it just to be more a part of her rather than something really obvious. So I tried a few things like watercolour, pastels. I even tried using just some crayons, some like Crayola crayons, but none of them really worked. But luckily I did come to a solution in the end, which you will see fairly shortly, actually. Now, I really did like doing this picture. It's good because there's pressure on it, as in I'm drawing this picture of my friend and I want it to look good because I want her to like it and I want it to look like her as well, and it's a makeup look she's done, so I want to be true to that. So there was that little bit of pressure, but it was also more about fun. So at the moment I'm working on something for my sister, posters for where she works, drawing sort of some of the women she works with to go on the posters, and there's so much pressure in that. So obviously I want to do a good job for my sister, but I want to do a good job so that she shows her people she works with, oh yeah, look, this was my idea to do pictures, which it was. She approached me about it, and I want her to be able to show them something amazing. And also the women I'm drawing, I want the pictures of them to be good and true to them. So there is kind of some stress of that, and I've been working on different things and kind of using watercolor, using pen, trying to find a way to really capture them. And it is just kind of nice to take a break and do something that, although yeah, there is a little bit of pressure, there's not sort of too much. So that's good. And I have to say with this picture, I really struggled with her eyes. She's got these dark, really dark brown, almost black eyes, and obviously I didn't want to just do them straight black. So, but I think I got round about the colour. Now this is the rainbow deer cheeks that I'm doing here, and as you can see, I'm doing them with pencil crayon, which really ended up sort of being perfect for it. It does kind of give that idea of blush, which is what I was looking for. And I'm not really perfect at using pencil crayons. I think the last time I really used them was when I was like in school in colouring books, and I never really liked to use them then. I preferred the vibrancy of felt tips. But here's sort of, as it's coming up to the end, it's gone quite quickly. Well, I guess I've sped it up a lot, so that's why. And then there are the little sort of doe spots that she has on her cheeks in the pictures. And here we are now. It's almost to the end, and I'm really sorry that it's so out of shot. I got a bit carried away and stopped thinking about framing, and was just thinking about, oh yeah, this is cool, do it this way, do this. But it does mean you miss my massive mistake where I dropped one of the green pencils from the leaves onto her hair, and I kind of panic about it for a bit, and then you can kind of see it. But these are obviously the pictures of her as the rainbow deer. Very cool pictures, and that's the final picture, obviously with a little bit of editing. But thanks for watching, and goodbye.